And welcome back. Yesterday, or the last project that we made was a cipher, a simple Caesar cipher. But one thing I didn't really like about it was how poorly it was organized. It was kind of an ad hoc system. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to actually have a menu, and we're going to use some functions as well. So follow along. First thing, we need our alphabet again, and it's all caps because it's a constant. So in the alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So that's our alphabet. And now I'm going to define a couple of functions. One of the functions we had was the same as yesterday. This function will strip out all characters that are not letters, and will also make everything all caps in whatever message you give it. So I'm going to call this function fixing, and I'm going to pass it a string. So I'm going to pass it something, and I have to have a colon after the definition of a function, and you can see that it's indented there. So I'm going to define something called fixed string. So this is the new thing that I'm going to send out at the end, and it's going to start as an empty string. And first I'm going to take the string that I was handed, and I'm going to say string equals string.upper. So this is going to make it an uppercase string because we know that our message has to always be in uppercase. Sorry about the noise. I'm now moving so that there's a little bit less noise. So this converts the string that it was handed into an uppercase string. All right, now, next thing we're going to do is I want to get rid of any letter that is not in our alphabet. So that will take away all letters from the string that are not in the alphabet. So for letter in string, this means please go through every letter in the string, and if letter in alphabet, so if the letter is in there, then what I want you to do is I want you to say fixed string equals fixed string plus the letter in question. So this will go through each letter in the string, and if there's a space, for example, it won't be in the alphabet, so it won't be added to fixed string, and then it's going to return fixed string. And I need to put that right over here at the same level as this here. So return fixed string. Now sometimes when you create a function, you want to test it right away. So I'm going to go ahead and test my function by saying test, or actually here, I'm just going to say print fixing, and I'm going to pass it a string, which is Snowy is a dog, exclamation point. So what I want is I want it to come back all caps without any spaces and with no exclamation point. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and it says Snowy is a dog, all caps, all the spaces have been taken out, and the exclamation point is gone. So that just tested the function fixing. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to have a menu. So whenever you write a program, it's nice to have something where the users can interact with your program with a logical menu. So I want to give the users a number of choices. So I'm going to create another function called getChoice. So I'm going to go ahead and def function getChoice. There's an underline between those two words. Can't be a space, by the way. And I'm going to hand it a variable called menu. And what I want is I want this function to return the user's choice, whatever the user wants. So let's say I hand it a variable, which will be a string, and menu. Actually, probably a better word for this would be choice. So what is the user's choice? Okay. And the OK choices, the only acceptable choices are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, because this is a constant, I am not going to change the acceptable choices. I'm going to make this all caps, following my convention. OK choices. So these are the acceptable choices. Now, I'm just going to create a little space here, print, and then I'm going to say, here are my choices, print. 0 is exit. So if somebody chooses 0, they want to exit my program. And then I'm going to say 1 is enter a new shift number. So remember, we're using a shift for our Caesar cipher. Print 2, decode a message. Actually, I'm going to have it encode a message first. Encode a message. And 3 will be decode a message. So these are the things that you can do. And I'm going to have another print just to give myself a little bit of spacing. And I'm going to have finally a while menu not in OK choices, has to be all caps, OK choices, colon, I'm going to say menu equals input. What would you like to do? I'll put a space after this too, because it looks better when it's actually running. And finally, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to return the menu. So what this function does here is it is handed something called, oh, sorry, not menu. Well, choice. Choice. Return choice. I used to call it menu, but choice is better. So while choice is not in OK choices, so this is what happens when you call this function. I call the function. I hand it a string called choice, which has nothing in it. OK choices are this. Then it prints these things. While choice is not in OK choices, it keeps asking for this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're going to test this function. So I'm going to start with a string, which is choice equals null, which means there's no choice at all. Okay, nothing has been chosen yet. And then I'm going to say print get choice. So let's see what happens with this. It's just going to call this function get choice, and we're going to try to run it, see what it does. So, okay, what would you like to do? 0 would exit it. So if I hit 0, it'll just end. Let's try that. 0 ends. And it printed the choice, of course, because that's what I asked it to do, and I got 0. And then it ended the program. Great. If I hit 3, and hit return, okay, it says 3, and it ends the program. What if I make an illegal choice, like, whoops, not there. Here's my illegal choice. Okay, and I hit return. It doesn't let me do that. So it says it keeps going until it's one of these things, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. What if I say it's 8? Nope, that's not one of the choices. It has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So 4, does that work? Yes, 4 works. Okay, so all this does is it returns a choice and it prints out the menu whenever you ask for a choice. So now I've got 2 functions. Okay? And now I think I'm ready to actually write my main program. Now for my main program, I will need a few things, a few variables. I will need my choice, and I'm going to set my first choice to null. It could be anything at all. It could be none. The only thing it can't be is empty quotes. I found out that doesn't really work. I don't know why, but it doesn't. All right, now I have the key. The key is the amount that I shift by, and the key equals 0. That will be my start. Okay. Although I don't, should I call it? I wonder if I should call it key. I'm going to call it shift. So how much do I shift by? I'm going to say shift right now equals 0. Okay. And then the old message, that's the message that somebody enters. Do I need that? Just think about that. Yeah, okay, so the old message, or just the message. message. This is what the user enters. And it starts with nothing, right? So we're not going to have the user enter anything. All right, so now I think I'm ready to go, and I'm going to write my program while while choice does not equal 0. So right when this program starts, does choice equal 0? No, because choice equals none. So it's going to do everything after this while statement. Then what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say choice equals get choice. And I'm going to pass it itself. Okay, so that should work. And so this is going to return this. We already know what this will do. This will turn the variable choice into a number, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, if choice equals 1, right? What's that mean? Well, 1 means enter a new shift number. Okay. So I'm going to say shift equals input. What is the new shift number? Okay. And then it's going to take that shift number and turn it into a integer. So shift equals int shift. And then it's going to print, got it, new shift number is shift. All right, and that's the end of choice 1. So let's go ahead and see if that works. All right, we're going to go ahead and run it and see if choice 1 actually executes. So, oh, it needs 2. Whenever you're checking, you always need to say equals equals. 2 equals there. So let's go ahead and run it. All right, what would I like to do? I'd like to enter a new shift number, 1. What is the new shift number? 7. Got it. The new shift number is 7. Oh, and then it keeps doing this. What is the new shift number? Now it keeps doing this because choice is still 1. So in addition to having the new shift number, I have to now say choice equals null, or choice equals none. I need to reset choice to none, so it keeps allowing the user to make choices. Choice equals none. All right, now let's go ahead and run it again. All right, enter, what would I like to do? I'd like to enter a new shift number. What is the new shift number? 8. Got it, shift number is 8. What would I like to do? I'd like to enter a new shift number. What is the shift number? 90. Got it, new shift number is 90. What would I like to do? I'd like to exit. Okay, and it ends the program. So it gets out of this while statement. When you hit 0, of course it equals 0, which means you exited. So, oops, not down here. Okay, so down here, way at the bottom, okay, I'm going to say leaving while statement. So this is a comment. That's what that little hash mark means, and that's why it's in green. Computer ignores comments, but it helps you understand your program. When you comment your programs, it makes it much easier for somebody else to understand what's happening. So now I say print, thank you for using the encoding, decoding tool. Okay, so let's try this, because this will only get here if the choice equals 0. So if I hit this, what would I like to do? 0 says thank you for using the encoding decoding tool. Print. Goodbye. I think I also would like a print above this, just to give it a little bit more space. Okay, so go ahead and run this. So if I hit 0 over here, it says, thank you for using the encoding decoding tool. Goodbye. All right, perfect. Now, what about the other choices? Okay, if, and it has to be at the same line as this if here, it's in the while statement, if choice equals 2, and it has to be quotes 2 because the choice function up here returns a string, does not return a number, it returns a string. So if choice equals 2, okay, well what's does 2 mean? 2 means encode a message, all right? So I'm going to say message equals input. What would you like to encode? And then it's going to say message equals fixing message, right? It's going to fix the message. All right, actually we can do something else first. We'll say print, okay, let's encode, comma, message. Okay, and then message equals fixing message. Print. First, let's fix the message. Message equals fixing message. Print. The adjusted message is message. All right, let's try this first. Okay, we won't even encode anything yet, but we'll see if we can accept something to encode. So let's go ahead and run this. Aha, gosh, I always forget that. 2 equal signs. All right, print. Why is this not happening? Okay, let's, I put the comma in the quotes. Comma has to go outside the quotes. All right, what would I like to do? I would like to encode a message. What would you like to encode? Snowy is a killer dog. Okay. Okay, let's encode Snowy is a killer dog. First, let's fix the message. The adjusted message is Snowy is a killer dog. Okay, then after this, it needs to encode it, right? So, how do I encode the message? Well, it's the same thing I did last time, which is I'm going to use the key to encode the message. Let's see how I'm going to do that. Well, for the letter in the message, okay, so I need a new variable, one just kind of a dummy variable that I will use, kind of a throwaway number, I equals 0. I equals 0. Okay. For letter in message, this is exactly what we did yesterday. I equals alphabet dot index letter. So it's going to look up the letter. I equals I plus shift. I equals I modulo 26. Remember that from yesterday, probably. And now I'm going to say, I need a new, okay, message, and then I need something else. I need new message equals, okay, because I'm going to actually make something here. So new message equals new message plus alphabet I. Okay. So we've just created the new message, which is encoding it using the key. So finally, it's going to say print the encoded message uses the key and uses the shift shift. So I'm just going to explain what shift I'm using. The encoded message uses the shift, and the encoded message comma, and it equals new message. Okay. Now, at the end of this is going to print out the new message, but I need to reset some variables. So I need to take message and reset it to nothing. Message equals new message has to be reset to nothing as well. Choice has to be reset to null. And I think that's it. I think that's everything. So let's see if this works. And run. What would I like to do? I would like to encode a message. What would I like to encode? Snowy. Okay. Okay, let's encode snowy. First, let's fix the message. The adjusted message is snowy, so it's all caps. The encoded message uses the shift 0. Encoded message snowy. Okay, I'd like to enter a new shift number. What is the new shift number? 1. Got it. New shift number is 1. What would I like to do? I'd like to encode a message. I'd like to encode snowy. And let's see. Okay, let's encode snowy. First, let's fix the message. The adjusted message is snowy. The encoded message uses the shift 1. Encoded message, bzz. Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh, it worked! So now all we have to do is decode the message. And it's basically the same. We're going to copy all of this, hit Command C, go here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Go here, back to the same level. Notice that these are all in the same line. I'm going to hit Command V. And now, if choice equals 3, okay, what would you like to decode? Okay, let's decode message. First, let's fix the message. Fixing message. The adjusted message is for letter in message. Okay, new message, boom. The decoded uses the shift. Oh, except it can't be plus shift. It has to be minus shift, right? I'm doing the opposite. So I equals I minus shift. So the decoded message uses the shift, decoded message. Okay, decoded message, boom. All right, let's see if it works. And at the very end, it says, great, leaving while statement. All right, so let's go ahead and run it. See if it works. Stop, run. All right, I would like to encode a message too. What message would you like to encode? Snowy is a killer. Okay, let's encode Snowy is a killer. First, let's fix the message. Snowy is a killer, shifting it by 0. Encoded message, Snowy is a killer. All right, great. I would like to decode a message. What would you like to decode? Snowy is a killer, just like that. First, let's fix a message. It makes it all caps, shifts it by 0. It's still Snowy is a killer. All right, so now I'd like to enter a new shift number. And what is the new shift number? The new shift number is 1. And what would I like to do? I'd like to encode a message. What would you like to encode? Snowy likes bacon. All right. And here's the shift. That's the new message. I'm going to copy this, by the way. And now what I'd like to do is I would like to decode the message. What would I like to decode? And I paste it back in there. And let's fix the message. And using a shift of 1, Snowy likes bacon. Great. And now I'm going to exit. My program is done. Thank you for using the coding encoding tool. So what you've learned with this method is a little bit, I don't know, cleaner way of programming, a little bit more organized. So I can also put in some comments. This allows the user to get a choice. Okay. And this strips out spaces and other characters. Also makes caps. Okay. And I think that's pretty much it for now. Choice 1. More comments. Enter a new shift. Choice 2. Encoding. And choice 3 is decoding. All right. Nice technique in here. Pretty well done, I think. Commented. Excellent. We're done. I'm going to save it, though. Let's see. Simple cipher with menu. Okay, save. And I'm done. Thanks.